Yeah, I'm number one on Forbes. Yeah, I'm number one on Forbes. Yeah, I'm number one on Forbes. Yeah, I'm number one on Forbes.
So, all right, let's start with the recent and then work our way back.
Right.
Beans came out last weekend at our Powerhouse.
Right.
And Jay was on stage. I'm a witness to the fact that Jay called the state troopers and the K-9 units were outside and Beans came to me and told me he called all of them because he thought we was going to bring it to him because he hasn't represented what it was he was supposed to do for me.
Yeah, that was a sucker move, man. You know what I mean? I look at what Jay was doing, but he feels like he's doing his traditional business. You know, it's just... Jimmy Iovine doesn't say Rockefeller for life, we family.
Right.
He says this is Interscope Records. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you're not generating interest or you're not doing what he feels like is the best possible business deal, it's nothing personal, it's just business. You see what I'm saying? Like when Jay decides to put Beans in the space, like they got loyalty, they got the things that we come off the curve with.
Right. You can't flip it. You can't go from
You can't tell them that we family, like we peoples. I got you.
And then when you get to a certain level in your career, then you want to separate. Everybody don't understand that.
Yeah, it's making a corporate transition. You see, he has he's Mr. Knowles. He got that pass.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Pretty
so
much,
it's like now you know that there's. Initially, Oprah would tell Beyonce not to mention him.
Right.
In your interview.
Right.
And then it changed to, you know what? They married. Things are smoothed out. You rock the Urkel glasses for 6 months.
You are so stupid.
The glasses equates to intelligence, non-confrontational vibe. It makes you safe.
No, it's true. We laugh, but it's true.
You know?
Do you believe do you believe he's down with some sort of secret society?
Well, I believe he's in now, like with a different crowd. So he can't even write the same music that would impact. He can't write Crime Wave. He got to make an excuse to write the aggressive content that we know him for. Like, so when he does American Gangster, he got to say it's because I saw the film and I was motivated and I wrote it in 3 days.
Right.
Instead of saying, this is how I'm thinking.
Have you ever been approached by the secret society that when a rapper, and I'm talking about when musicians, black artists reach a certain level, this secret society still wants to infiltrate and control the minds of our youth? And so they incorporate you into the secret society, and so secretly you put out messages, but you don't go against their grain. But it's like you're dressed like us, but you speak for them.
But if you see, like, I haven't been approached by anybody like that. I know that there's a point where they have like different expectations of you. Mm-hmm. Like Jay, when they do My President is Black, they go, he knows better than that. But they don't say nothing about Jeezy. You see what I'm saying? Being on the same song. Because they look at him like he doesn't know better than that.
Okay.
You know, and it's a point where some artists start to want to be something different.
And there's nothing wrong with being something different.
When you get older, you start to be a little more mature. Certain things start making sense to you, certain things don't. And it's obvious he's at a point where nothing really matters to him outside of his, relationships, his family.
And maybe, that works for him. But when he makes comments like nobody's scared of 50 Cent in regards to Kanye and...
That was, you know what that was? It's the non-confrontational vibe we just talked about. Like, the guy who was talking to him made him feel like a punk. Mm-hmm. And he had to point out, come on, get it right. Nobody's scared of 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have no issue with me. I didn't say nothing to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At that point, he's not addressing the guy, treating him like he was afraid of 50 Cent. And that guy's doing that based on him being safer or, like having a more approachable vibe. Like, Lil Mama, there's points where people enjoy music. 2003 through 2005, you couldn't find anybody that said that they would generate more interest than 50 Cent in hip-hop. And wasn't anyone walking on the stage. Mm-hmm. Because people was getting stabbed at award shows.
Right.
It was different things that was happening that made them feel like, wait, he might not be in the mood for me right now. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I'd watch artists look and not be sure that they can come say what's up. Like, they'll say what's up to Tony in the Banks and say, tell son I said what's up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know, like, how I was, because they see me addressing other artists and competing.
They're afraid.
It is a little...
They're afraid. I have to admit, and I told Nelson, I said, I be wanting to call the office and have conversations, but he might be taping. And I can't, like, because that's how our minds sometimes
You
work
know what's
alike,
interesting?
and you have
Like,
to get these cats sometimes.
That was the one time
ForbesTVGeek.com.
I had a camcorder. Like, it's not set up where I'm actually taping everything.
Right.
I had a camcorder and I taped it because that reflected how often that was happening.
And we're now referring to
The Young Buck situation.
right when
Because
wow.
I taped that conversation because
It's
the public
entertaining.
wouldn't understand why I was upset with him. They would feel like, oh, 50's just mad again. Because they see me attack so often.
right.
They feel like I was just, he's choosing this, he's attacking his own people. He's going crazy.
Right. And
You
so
know?
50 had the audio of Young Buck
Yeah.
actually,
Crying on the tape.
crying on the tape. And so we got to see.
Yeah, but he do these things. He says things publicly and then come back and cry and apologize. Like, and at the time that we going through that, I'm $250,000 into his personal. Like, I paid his taxes twice. So, like, when you got someone who's impulsive and then you add addiction to it, you get a person that's out of control.
Right. And we
know what I mean?
understand.
And then, like, and
Can't hold them completely.
In Baines in them case, they didn't even give them the money. Like, when he was coming out of jail, he did a year and a day. He's in the penitentiary, federal penitentiary in Jersey, because my uncle been down 16 years, and I used to stop by to see him. This is during the Get Rich or Die Trying, when my schedule was so hectic, I was flying back every month to go see him, because for that time period that I sat across him, he was completely free. Like, I can't get him out of the pens right now, but
Right.
I can take his mind out of there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I talked to him, and then from that point, that's enough for him to be like, man, you really ain't got to come see me next month, but if you can, I'd like to see you. You see what I'm saying? Just because that was enough. And Beans had to be in there and feel that. He had to feel me come in the building
Right.
and say, Jay ain't coming to see me. So, like, his frustration at some points, like, when they point out the businesses that he had, like the sneaker deal and the different deals.
Yeah,
and
he
stuff.
said Beans was driving 2 Bentleys and his moms was still living in the sticks and
Yeah, like, when you point these things out, they're not factoring in that he was the best option out of the actual crew.
right.
Like, Beans was the better artist, the stronger artist. That's why when he did the Year and the Day, I was like, yo, as soon as he come home, I'd bring that project over here. So I was going to he would have got at least 800,000 at that point to come in. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
To come over.
But why didn't the deal happen?
Because Jay was telling them that he didn't want to lose him. It's the same. You know what happened?
You don't
I
want to
think-
lose him,
I
but you
think
don't want to
Puff-
do nothing with him.
Jay and Puffy had these feelings towards me at one point, I believe. They didn't want to lose anything to me at that point while that energy was going on. So
And
it's like,
meanwhile, Beans suffers. He's
Yeah.
the one suffering.
yeah, Puff didn't want to sign the Mace deal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And Jay didn't want to do that, like, because it was like to him, like, the perception of it is like I'm losing something to him now. Like,
They're very
he's-
competitive.
Right.
He even thinks that he's competing. What did he say? The only one, I'm not competing. I don't have to respond to Game or somebody because the only ones that are better than me are not, or as good as me, excuse me, are Nas and Eminem.
Right, but if you point that, you got to say Nas is as good as you because you lost. In the
Nas
last.
is better than you. How about that?
Right.
Because you lost.
ForbesTVGeek.com.
And at that point,
Let's see how Nas feels.
and anybody else that's there, you don't want to credit them when they could turn into a competition. Like,
Do you think you are the better artist?
I think so.
And he's
I think
modest,
I generate.
too.
Yeah, I do.
50's here for
'cause
those of you just tuning in.
I think that he does a great job at manipulating systems and people. Like, when you're at the Def Jam building, Nas got like $2 million to market his. He had a $15 million marketing plan. He was like, this is for you, this is for me. This is for you, 1, 2, this is for me. This is for you, 1, 2, 3, this is for me. Until his marketing plan was the real one. You know that
Right.
Wave, that was the wrong record. If you got 15 million in marketing, you can make the wrong record feel like the right record.
Money changes everything.
Yeah.
We all know that. That creates perception. When you've got money, you've got the ability to change anybody's perception. 50's here with us, and we're going to continue to talk with him, guys. SEPTA's on strike. If you're just joining us, if you're just waking up, so if you depend on public transportation, you assed out. It's Jonesy in the morning on Power 99.
Yeah, I'm number one on Forbes. Yeah, I'm number one on Forbes. Yeah, I'm number one on Forbes. Yeah, I'm number one on Forbes.